Good afternoon. No, actually, good morning, YouTube. This is your man, Always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Combat Sports. That's my new moniker from now on. I usually say Emperor of WMA Talk or Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, but you know what? I should compound everything into one thing. And I think I'm going to say from now on, my new moniker is Emperor of Female Combat Sports Talk. It makes a lot more sense because I do talk about women in boxing and I do talk about women in MMA. And this is going to be a little bit more about MMA, but we're also going to drop a little boxing while we're here because you know what? I don't speak too much about women's boxing because, not too many fights. We know there was some, I think it's kind of busy for this year for women's boxing. You had the fight between, I think early this year, you had the fight between Amanda Serrano and was it Hernandez? You had Katie Taylor suffer her first defeat, and hits the thing is in her own backyard in Ireland. She was supposed to fight. If you remember, she supposed to fight Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano had an injury, so she had to back out of the fight with a rematch with Katie Taylor, and she fought this lady named Ward. I think that's what her name was. I forgot, and she lost this girl. Katie Taylor got her first defeat, and it was in her own backyard. All the wins she's won in other countries, she lost in Ireland. So, But anyway, as you know, I'm a big fan of WMA. I don't talk about as much like I used to because right now I've been busy. Right? Even today, I've been still busy on stuff that were happening. We just, as you know, we had the Linda Murray Atlanta Pro just finish up today. I think still have a show today, but it's just, I think just the rest of the divisions. I think it's mostly unless it's supposed to be from the 15th to the 16th. So let's finish it up. And they already had the women's bodybuilding, and congratulations to Mayla Ash. Shout out to Mayla Ash, big fan of hers. She has got her 7th, Miss Olympia qualification. You might as well say at least you go back from 2000s women's bodybuilding to 2003. That's 4 times in women's bodybuilding, 3 times in women's physique. And but anyway, this is as you saw the title. Grandma she's Grandma he's Grandma Holly. It used to be Grandma Modafferi, but we call her Auntie Holly. But Grandma Holly Holm has gotten submitted last night at UFC Fight Night 70. I think it was 77, I believe. I forgot where it was. I think I pulled it up, and it was Fight Nights it was the main event. And Holly Holm, as you know, a while back, she got a 6-fight contract extension. I mean, and to me, I know Holly, she's still riding off success of the fact is, that she was the woman who dethroned Holly Holmes. Ronda Rousey. And and this was in UFC in Vegas. It was UFC 77 in Vegas. Now it's fight night 100 or something or another, but it's as during the pandemic, they were doing a lot of fights out of Vegas, and and that's a smart thing to do because Vegas, I think they had the restrictions there, because I know they didn't have the Olympia for the last couple of years during the time of the pandemic, but now they had it back, but now they didn't change mind. But this was like Holly Holm. I think she's ranked number 3 in UFC in the bantamweight division, and she was a champion. As she beat Ronda Rousey for the title, and then she lost it to Miesha Cupcake Tate. She was on the verge of trying to become the champion in 145 when it opened division, but she lost to Jermaine Duranami, and then she had a bunch after that. Lost to counting the loss to Miesha Tate, then losing to pretty much to Jermaine Duranami, then losing to Valentina Shevchenko. I think she lost one more fight. She was practically on a 4-fight losing streak at this point. And but she had a bounce back win against one of my favorite fighters, Betch Pitbull Correa. Shout out to Betch, big fan of hers. Not her beauty, but her booty. But this fight was scheduled with Mariah Bruno Silva, and Mariah was supposed to fight Miesha Cupcake Tate, but something happened. I think Miesha had got some kind of injury, so she couldn't, fight. So as you know, this was opportunity for, most definitely for Holly to climb back up into title contention. As you know, she had a setback a while back. She lost to Caitlin Vieira last year. Was it last year? I think it was last year. And then, she beat Raquel Pennington, who was, at the time she beat Raquel before she lost to Caitlin Vieira. And she was like that, kind of, then she had a bounce back when she beat Yana Kunitskaya, which was like, about a month or so ago. But, just right before she has gotten her 6-fight contract extension. I think she's already fought, at least this fight was counted. I think my count is the second or third fight on her contract. So she got a contract extension. Dana White, he always likes to play to his fan base, which is white males. And Holly fixed that mold. She's blonde, she's tall, athletic, well built. But Holly is, that's the truth of it. Holly's 40 years old. She's 42, I believe, if I got it correct. And she's been in the fight game for a long time. As you remember, she was a boxer for many years, left boxing, did kickboxing for half a minute, and then she was pulled in the UFC because and Moira Bracero, if you know anything about her, she's been fighting for a good bit in 125, but just this year she made the switch from 125 up to 135. 135, when it started, it was the only divisions in UFC for women's MMA. But over time, Dana White has expanded. Wrong name. Dana White beater. I gotta catch myself when I use his Christian name. I gotta use him by his name. What he is, he's a wife beater. And he brought in later on the strawweight division, and he brought in the flyweight division. He really dropped the ball with 145. Truly, we dropped the ball 145. As you know, I think the big thing was that if Holly had won that title against Jermaine Duranami, then he would probably have grown 135. But there's some thoughts that Holly should maybe think about now that the title has been vacated, now that the Lioness Queen has retired. Maybe Holly should think about going after that title again. Dana probably would grow a 145 division around Holly Holmes. But he don't like the idea that the bigger girl thing, and me white males don't like women. This is how the parameters of fan base like. They don't like women that are too big or women that are too small. That's why he doesn't have atomweight division. You know, some guys don't like women who are too small, don't like them too big. Strawweight is within the guidelines. Like guys, like girls who like nice, lean, petite kind of girls, but they want girls too skinny, look like they're initiated. Or somebody says, some guys always say, "or built like a little boy." Anytime a guy refers to a woman in the shape of a little boy, there's something suspicious. Don't you think it's suspicious? Like Umar Johnson likes to say. But anyway, the fight was like the main event of the Las Vegas UFC's Fight Night 77. I think it's like a fight night 100, 200 something other. You lose count of the fight nights, but you remember the numbers. Usually fight nights, either when they have a fight night in Vegas, they number it. When they have a fight night in something else, it's named the town they're in and just number it. The number of the fight. There's like the difference between there's a number of Vegas fight nights and there's a number of fight nights total, and it's somewhere in the 200 something like that. This fight night, 100 something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really keep up with the count, but Dana, like I said, he's always put us in. Now, this is a good thing about Mara Brown Silva. She really fought hard for this fight. From some people out here about it, they were talking about it because I was so focused right now. I was following the stuff that's going on with the Atlanta Pro Show that I listened to my man Coach how he said that Mara was taking a lot of hits in the first round, and then by the time he got the second round, she got right early into the second round, just barely a minute so into the second round, she put Holly in a front guillotine choke. Now that's her with her girlfriend right there. She used to fight in the UFC, but they cut her. She was strawweight, and I think she's talking Brazilian. And Holly had to tap out. She had no choice. She knew she was done. She had to tap out. And remember her when she fought against Miesha Tate. Miesha Tate got in the choke. Holly just went unconscious, she went limp. But she's learned now from over the years that it's no good at trying to fight like these things. Once they get that side of choke on you, you're done. But for winning the main event, submitting Holly Holmes, Mara Bueno Silva gets $50,000 for performance of the night. Congratulations to Mara. I mean, $50,000. You think about it. She take it back to Brazil. I think she still lives in Brazil. Like many of these fighters that that fight in UFC who are from other countries, most of them still live back because it's a lot cheaper for them to live there than live here. And the cost of traveling from one country to another, but once you get your pay and then boom, go back and have a flight, $50K goes up to be almost, I think it triples in cost because the American dollar is a lot more across the border than it is any place else in the world. Only places where the American dollar is less is Europe and Asia. Especially countries like China, Japan, Korea, I believe. Most European countries, the American dollar is still less than the pound or the euro or even whichever European money they use in certain countries. I was like I said, I watched this thing called Culinary Geniuses, and it used to be an old Gordon Ramsay series where they had, it's kind of like when people who were not people who are not expert chefs, just like home chefs, they fix up stuff, and at the end of the show they give you a prize of $1,000. Well, actually £1,000, but £1,000 communicated into US dollars is like 1,300. Crazy. So you got to think about it. What she gets in 50K, it goes boom. She can go back. She can marry her girlfriend, live her life. She can sit on that for at least a good while till the next fight. Or if she lives in the States, 50K don't last too long. But congratulations to Mara Brown Silva. She deserved this. There was a couple more performance of the nights, but a couple of guys here and there. I think another guy here. At least about 3 performance nights last night. Performance nights is like if you get a stoppage, especially you get it early in the fight. Sometimes late in the fight, if you get it in the first round or even early in the second round, they usually give it to you. But more often, it has to be a stoppage. It has to be dramatic, especially if you stop somebody like Holly Holmes. Dana White has no choice but to give her. Sorry, Dana White has no choice but to give her money. And she's been doing pretty good. She's been in the UFC for a good bit, and she said she was strawweight originally. I mean, that's right, flyweight. Mara has a certain look about her. I don't know, big smiley teeth, and something else is big, Yes, I'm talking about her boobs. I'm sorry, but she has a look to her. Is there a chance that she might get a shot at the title? Where by beating Holly Holm, she's now climbed up to number 10. She was 13 in the bantamweight division, couple of wins there, and then now she's number 10, and she might have a good future here. It's gonna take a while. Possible title shot, I don't know. The 135 title has been vacated by Amanda Nunes, and the two people that are possibly going to get a shot at it is most definitely the Venezuela's vixen Juliana Pena and the Raquel. Don't call her Rocky Pennington. Like I said, I'm not a fan of how I feel about anybody who's a Rocky and then quit. But like I said, she's been doing pretty good. I mean, this was a fight I think against who was that? That was, it looks like it was Lena Landsberg. That was her. I think that was her. I think it was her debut fight in 135. Gotta be careful. How the UFC is. They don't want to show much too much fight footage, and it's not, like I say, it's off their one of their fighters' social media. But see, Holly was number 3, Mara's number 10. So with her beating Holly, will her stock rise now? Because she beat number 3. And who will be next? Like, I think possibly the one of the people that Holly lost to, and I think is more likely is going to be Catlin Vera, her a fellow Brazilian. I think it could be a good shot that she might have to face Catlin, because Catlin was one point, she was on her way for probably a title shot until she lost to Raquel Pennington, who's as I said is right now on a 5-fight losing streak. This says making a case for a title shot. I don't know. Let's no point hearing her talk because it's Brazilian, so we don't understand what they're saying. So no one will put up their speaker. But like I said, it's a good shot that she might get a title shot, but I don't know how soon and when. Here you go. This is a man, Kit Katz. How do you manage to talk to these athletes? Well, all I do is make a request. I can I used to just usually DM them, but then my man KL told me, well, sometimes you send an email, and I get more. I think I get more chances through DMs I do with email. Every now and then email, but more time it's more DM, because DM, like a lot of the ladies, especially the female bodybuilders, a lot of them are on IG a lot. They love IG. IG is a lot, it's a lot more popular than Facebook. Right now, if you check in my story I posted, I have an interview coming up tomorrow, and I got an interview coming up this afternoon. Couple of lovely ladies who are pro level ladies in both physique division, and also their mothers, and this is, I like to talk about ladies like this who are in the sport, who are moms, who have a passion for sport. You gotta respect, it's tough, and but it takes some time, Kit Kat. You just sometimes gotta wait. Some of these ladies just like reach out to some ladies about doing interviews, and you gotta give them time to really relax, and to, especially after a show, sometimes they need time to really get in better mindset, because it's tough. There's some UFC card, there's at least 4 fights for women. Usually that's a pretty good number. Usually if you have at least 2, that's all right, because that's the average almost sometimes. But when you have at least 4, and then one of the women's fights is the main event, because Holly Holm's the bigger name. Really, other than like maybe someone like Mackenzie Dern or maybe Misha Cupcake Tate, Amanda Nunes, most definitely. I know Valentina Shevchenko has a headline on a fight night. She wants to headline on a as a main event as a pay per view, but usually they usually don't let her main event on pay per views too often. They usually go with the ones that's a little bit more popular or man. But I think also I remember what's her name? Michelle, she goes by her married name now, Michelle Waterhead, Waterson, but she goes by the married name now. Let's stick with it. I forgot the married name. She headlined the fight her and uh you know uh you know Angela Hill, Angela Overkill Hill, over the hill now. But and people she's so um Michelle Waterson's a mother. She has a daughter, and she's talking about how I'm gonna be the first mom to headline this, and then and Angela's talking about I'll be the first black woman to be headlining for a UFC event, and everybody's on her case about that. Wait a minute, this is something that's not because there's not that many black women left in the UFC, other than the ones that are, I would say, more or less the Brazilians and a few women that are from other countries. Not that many black women, you know, black women. Even though Angela Hill, she does has a white husband. She is black, not black, but not the bicycle. You know how it is. But people are so all her case about it. So why can't she celebrate being the first black woman to headline on a UC event? What's the problem with y'all? You don't have a problem with because Michelle Waterson's Asian. She fits the mentality of what young white males like. It. Like I said, and there's one guy I follow. He likes the Asian chicks. Asian chick women are all right, but me personally, as a man, I like particular women. I do like women who are mostly being black. I like black women. I do like some Latina women. I like white women, depending on how they look. If they have some aspects of black women, like fuller hips, thicker lips, bigger booties. Really well endowed white women. I'm not into the girls who look like they can hula hoop a Cheerio. You got to have some shape. You got to have some curves. And we see a white chick with curves, that's a special breed. Like wow. If you see like someone like as on this fight card, we have someone like Norma Demont. Now she's Brazilian, but technically she's more of the Blanco persuasion. She's white more than anything. If you look at Mara Breno, she's a little bit on the darker shade. She's closer to maybe like she's what they call mulatto. I always say it's a mulatto. She's more like the lighter skin, where she's a little bit more. She has a little bit more ethnicity in her bloodline. While even though Norma is built like a sister, she looks like an everyday white woman. You look at her. If you go to Brazil, there's also a thing where they do in Brazil, like they don't put too many dark complected Brazilians on television because they have this prejudice again. You don't really ever, if you ever go to Brazil, you watch a TV show or movie, you're gonna see a lot of black people every now and then. But there's plenty of black people. You see a lot of black people in Brazil. You gotta remember Brazil was once a colony that was ran by between the Spanish and the Portuguese. And those were the two biggest slave traders in years ago, hundreds of years ago. And black people we usually would sell off in the Caribbean because by then they think it was just those countries were doing a lot more slave. In time America, they bought slaves, but they didn't get into slave trade thing. Countries like I think the Netherlands, Great Britain, most definitely Spain and Portugal did a lot of it. America just took just jumped on board and just bought. But anyway, back to this whole card. Now, on the card, also main card was Chelsea Chandler versus Norma Dumont. Norma Dumont, she's been doing pretty good. There's a good chance that there was one point talk that she was going to fight for the 145 title against Amanda Nunes. But now when Nunes is gone, the title vacated. The question is, would UFC still try to grow the division? And this is, I keep talking about this. UFC should grow 145. There are bigger women in there who like to come to UFC and fight. The opportunities to fight in the UFC. I mean, I saw one lady who just fought on a fight. I've been following her, and I reached out to a couple times for interviews, but she never got back to me. She fought with PFL. She just won her last fight in another organization. She fights at 145. She's always looking. She would probably be a good show in UFC. But they're prejudiced. They don't like the idea of anything over 135. They didn't like Cyborg because Cyborg was so tough and so dominant for a long time. Even though after she lost to Amanda Nunes, she was still something. They could have, whatever issue that Dana White Beater had with Cyborg, she put aside and just went ahead and we got a great rematch. We're never gonna get that rematch because we all know Amanda Nunes retired, or unless she can come back, she can come to Bellator and fight for less pay than she was fighting in the UFC. And that's just sad. You just hate is you're never gonna get those rematches that you want to see, like Harry versus Sugar Ray Leonard or Tyson versus Buster Douglas. Just some fights you never get to see run it back again. But anyway, as I was talking about fights running back again, we did have a boxing match. It was with the current women's champion in 130 as super featherweight, and that is Alicia the Bomb Baumgartner. She went up against Christina Tando. Again, Kenan Yen but call her Medusa or Black Mamba. She is a fighter that's been around for a good bit. She is the only woman to hand Alicia her first defeat in her career in boxing. This was like about back in 2018. Can you believe it? That's like 5 years ago. That seemed like, you realize time has flown. It's already 2023 and, it's going to be 2024 after a while. Just time just flies. And, Alicia, she's been a dominant fighter, after she defeated her last opponent, which was that French lady from What's Her Face, and then her fight with Michaela Mayer, that was her biggest fight. That's what But this fight, I think, is a fight that made her undisputed. And this fight was, I think, it was the main card because this is on who Eddie Hearn's Matchbox company. And it's on the Zone. In the Zone, I know my man Coach talks, joke about the Zone. It's one of the worst live streams. They don't do too much, and most of it's focused more on Europe. But Eddie Hearn tries to spam more in the States. There's more opportunities, more chance to make some money here. There's more money. Like this, this is America's Hollywood. Everybody wants to come here, and Eddie, he's expanding his company, his brand here in the States. But it's their family, Baumgartner. She's attractive, great shape, great, she has great build to her, good amount of muscle definition. I won't say she's like a bodybuilder. Some guys, not every woman's gonna be a bodybuilder, but she does have those aesthetics, especially around body. If you look at the delts, and and she good definition. She probably has a good regimen. But Alicia, like I said, she's attractive. And she got a great look to her. I'm a fan of Alicia Baumgartner. Like, this is why I say, yeah, she does. Like, look at great abdominals. You can look at her delts, her shoulders. Look at her arms. This is where, maybe, I don't know. Will she ever do it? I doubt it. The bodybuilding lifestyle is not for everybody. Here she is, getting off. You just get a little glance of her right here. Look at her, look at her delts, look at her arms, look at her shoulders. She has, good muscle definition. The question is, what's next for Alicia Baumgartner? There's talk of maybe, as she fights as featherweight. There's also possibly a future fight between maybe her and Katie Taylor. And she said again, Katie lost her fight a while back in Ireland, with her last opponent. And, Katie might be one look for a get back fight. Now, would it still do that rematch with her and Amanda Serrano? I don't know. That's always a possibility. If that could happen. Now, the fight was in Detroit. And, I think Alicia's originally from Detroit. And, it was like the main card. It was the second fight between her and Christina. And like I said, I'm my fan of Alicia Baumgartner. I follow her on social media. She has a great look to her. As you know, she's of mixed nature. She's Korean, half Black. Her father was in the military. Her mother was was from South Korea. and she just have a very exotic look to her. You know, it's just something about, especially the black women. One of the parents is Asian, and the other is black. They just have a certain particular look at it. I think strong, good genetics, good genes. Still a doggy. You know, this is coming in before the show. She won. Trying to find some fight clips. Undisputed, still undisputed. And there's talk about her, maybe a rematch between her and Mikaela Mayer. I don't know if that ever will happen because there's a Franchon Cruz right there in the middle. We hadn't seen her since she lost her last fight. She lost her last fight. That was against Savannah Marshall. And we trying to play because sometimes it's always copyright stuff issues, these music, but women boxing needs this. They need these superstars like Alicia, the likes of Clarissa Shields and the Amanda Serranos, even Katie Taylor. It's getting a lot more attention. When boxing with these standout fighters. Sad thing, these ladies still will never get the money and level of a guy like, she's about to take off her, cut it short. Why you cut it short? You really want to see it. But, it's tough for these ladies to get to the level of some of these men boxers because the fact is a lot of promoters don't want to put their interest behind women in boxing. They prefer men. And men's always going to be the attention getter. And one thing is always the debate about women's boxing is, when they're going to get full, 3-minute rounds like the men. I think they deserve it. Because some fights could have been the difference between unanimous decision to a knockout. Especially if I've seen some fighters where all they needed was just that extra minute. This Clarissa Shields right there, the champ. The GOAT. I'm a fan of Clarissa Shields, and she just, you follow Clarissa Shields. She just last night they had ESPYs, I believe. That's the equivalent of sports version of the Oscars. And Clarissa just got for Best Boxer. So congratulations to T-Rex. She deserves it. People may not like her stuff she says, comments she's making like this, but hey, she's really right now the best woman in the fight game. As you know, she supposed to have fought Hannah Gabriels, was it last month? That fight was canceled because Hannah Gabriels tested positive for a banned substance. And I like Hannah Gabriels. Hannah Gabriels is another one who has a great muscle density. Maybe she should consider going into bodybuilding. If you're gonna get popped for, especially in sports like with boxing, they do a lot of testing. You can get popped. You might always go ahead and do bodybuilding. Most of all the major combat sports always gonna do testing. And if you can get popped, you can get popped. So, like I said, but anyway, there's also a couple more fights in the UFC fight, but I don't care too much. One was like Ashley Evans Smith, aka the Crook. I ain't gonna, I don't care much about her. I think she's a bum. Stealing from people's yard. When they put out something for people for donation to the hospital. I thought they cut her, but he must have didn't. Decided to bring her back for whatever reason. He must know the body's at. So anyway, what's Holly Holm's future? I don't know. Does she have a future? I mean, she has. I think she signed a 6-fight deal with the UFC, and the big question is, how much longer? I mean, they keep it for as I said again, for the fan base, for white young males who find her appealing. And I don't know if she's like I say, she's like, here's the thing about Holly. She's just living off of reputation, and still she could have really have expanded as a fighter if she left the evil Winkle John gym. She still stayed. I mean, remember she was married her husband wanted her to move on and focus on a career, and also maybe settle and start having a family. But Holly decided she fight was more important than settling down. She wants to stay in the fight game. That's your choice. But you got to remember, like I said, you can't keep doing this forever. You got to find something to do. Like I said, there's a lot of younger women coming to this game. Some of these women, are starting when you were coming in when you started boxing. I think she could do coaching or training. She has a great physique. No, not trying to, as a fighter, but she has a great physique. She can probably become a coach or trainer. Or leave. She probably more likely if she does become a coach or trainer, she's gonna stay with John Gym. She's gonna stay with them. You better we go to that gym. Make sure you have Catholic priest, a jug of a holy water, and wearing 6 cross, because and to kick John Jones out of the gym. So John Jones moved, and you have John Jones there. He just beat Cyril Gahn, and now he has to fight with CBA Miocic coming up. But like I said, Holly should really think about her future. Like I said, she's not no spring chicken. She's over 40 years old. And even at 40, everything starts to slow down. You can't, stay as vibrant, as young, as youthful, as moving as you used to. But, she's, living her life like she likes. She got a nice body. Maybe, just like really well developed workout, nice tight butt. Not a booty, a butt. There's a big difference. And the question is now, as long as she's with these 2 guys. Now, Greg Jackson is a good coach and trainer. He's good. But Mike Wickwajon, he's too much of a hype man. He's kind of like, if you say it like this, basically like this, Greg Jackson, it's the reverse. Mike Wickwajon is not Rakim. He's more like Eric B. And Greg Jackson is Rakim. He's the talent. He's just, these 2. If I say like this, if Greg Jackson opened his own gym, left Mike Wickwajon, he might need somebody to be the voice for him because he's more of just the hands-on guy. That's why Greg Jackson's there. But he has somebody who's more of the hands-on guy, the business guy. Greg Jackson probably have a great gym. Just let him train, let him cook, whatever, All right, here's Holly's dad. I believe it's his dad. He gotta be 70 about. He's 70 because, he's from New Mexico. Where he's from, him and his wife got married when, they were really, really young. A lot of, white people do that. They got married when you were really young and had the kids by the time they were even 20. Sometimes younger. Hey, folks, I got some news to tell you why I'm here. I just discovered this from my oldest sister that her younger son, his oldest son, is gonna be a father. I'm gonna be a great uncle, great uncle. I'm already a great uncle, and an uncle. I'm gonna be a great uncle. So so that's great. Well, already a great uncle before because no, I'm a great uncle because I was a great uncle already before because I have an older brother. He has sons and they have children, but I don't know them as well as I do my other great uncles, nieces, and nephews. So here we go. That's my man, Running Renee. I admire Holly though because she stays to do fit and discipline, especially for her age. Yeah, I get admired that. He says like this also, she should be a trainer. I agree, Renee. She should be a trainer. There's good money in training, especially, and you gotta think about it. If she stays with Wickwajon Gym, and she Jackson Wink, Jack Wink, she will probably be a trainer there. And I think that's the best future for her. I mean, she's no spring chicken. You're trying to fight with girls like I say, Mara's like in her early 30s, while Holly's in her early 40s. There's almost a 10 distance between the two. And really, she really thinks about her future. You know, you can't keep doing this forever. You can't. You know, you're getting these younger girls coming in and they're hungry. You already been on the top before. You were champion for half a minute. You know, then you lost the title. And now you're more or less the someone that the UFC keeps around because you are, like I said again, basically you are the fantasy of many of their fan base. And because of that, that's why they keep you. They keep because you're basically short a fantasy. But the fantasy is starting to get old. You know, and she is getting old. You know, if I said, let's say you 40 is not old yet. Well, in the fight game, 40 is old. Because if you're in your teens to your 20s, you're still young and fresh. But then when you start clicking into your 30s and get into your 40s, that's when everything starts to decline. Then you have to go dealing with, especially because Holly never really been knocked out during her career, other than her fight against Sophie Mathis and her fight against Amanda Nunes, and also can't forget she got choked out by Misha Tate. Other than that, she never, she's been knocked out. But never been so vicious knocked out compared to some other fighters. And after a while, that does affect you. Affects your mind, affects your brain. You react to show. That's why one of my favorite fighters, Marion, retired. Because Marion was like at least 2 or 3 years older than Holly when she retired. Because Marion was I think she was like 42, about 43 when she retired. And I think Holly was just not even 40 yet. And she fought Holly before, And Marion knows that she wasn't ever going to improve because she was getting older. And everybody's gonna have these outliers. Because people look at like someone like Glover Textor or Stipe Miocic or a couple other fighters who are in their 40s. But you didn't ever look at the downside of someone like Conor McGregor or someone like just saw Robbie Lawler retired. Some of those guys who's been in the game for a long time. They look like they need to go ahead and go on in the future. Robbie Lawler, I don't know why he didn't retire a long time ago. Robbie Lawler goes back all the way back to the early years of UFC when he used to wear. Didn't have to. They didn't have the didn't have USADA, or when they didn't have to wear non when they had before they had the sponsors before they used to have the sponsors on the trunks. He was one of the few guys left who still used to, when you used to fight. Do you remember? You ever watch UFC back there? The guys used to have sponsors. You had their sponsors in their trunks until they got the contract with a Reebok. And now they have the contract with Venom. I don't know what the Reebok. But if you see this, like Holly, she just needs to really think about her future. You're not no spring chicken anymore, sweetheart. You get choked out. And listen, my man, the coach, he talked about how she was, doing certain things, try to punch from the outside, yeah. And then I think what Mara did, she did like Rocky Balboa, drop her head to the hits, bounce off her forehead, and then she just waited for the right time, and she did like a basically short, not a rope a dope, a cage a dope. She used the cage and got her back up and let Holly come in, and then she slapped on with a standing guillotine choke, and Holly had no choice but to tap out. And like I said, you kids can't keep this thing up forever. Like I said again, she's not a spring chicken, and I don't know why UFC gave this woman a 6-fight deal. So, what's the future for Mara Bueno Silva? Like I said, she probably might fight someone like Katlyn Vieira, who at one point was on the verge for a title shot. A couple of fights in, she was already, she beat Misha Tate, she beat Holly Holm. Or she might fight Holly Holm because she was supposed to fight Holly Holm, but Holly Holm went dropped out because of injury. She might fight Holly Holm, and then, or she might fight both of them, and then they probably wait to see between Raquel Pennington and Julianne Pinion, who's going to be the next person to get a shot at the title. Now with Nunes gone. The title's gonna bounce around for a good while. Or she gets new fighters coming there, and one can hold the title at least maybe more than 2 fights. The title's gonna bounce around for a little bit. I think good chance that either Juliana gets it back, and then more likely someone like Mario gets a shot at her. Or she might fight Irene Adania. That's a possibility, but I think they're probably going to test her out. It might throw Caitlin Vera in front of Mara, and then she gets past Caitlin Vera, then she goes against Irene Adania. And then she'll get past, and what's going to happen if she'll get past Caitlin Vera and Irene Adania are going to have a rematch. That's how I see it. It's going to be a rematch between Caitlin and Irene Adania. So, yeah. This my man, Running Renee says this. I think she's addicted to fighting. Well, to be addicted to fighting, that's one thing, but you got to think about it, dude. You can't keep yourself forever. The human body is not meant to take that much punishment. That's why most boxers, after a while, retire. Some do come back, like, every so often you see, like, Roy Jones, he fought Mike Tyson, but still now he's not boxing full time. I think he's supposed to be some kind of reality show now. You see, like, how Mayweather, he charity fights here now. He fought one of the Gotti boys, one of John Gotti's grandsons. That was a mess. He was fighting to get to make money. And you remember how Evander Holyfield was still fighting, and he had to fight because he owed child support. After Mike Tyson, when Mike Tyson came after that fight with Roy Jones, but that was it. But I understand she likes fighting because she's been fighting for most of her life. But the fact is, she has to think about her future. I know she has a business deal with her brother. They're doing a thing with some kind of liquor, But Holly had a life. She had a husband, but because she liked fighting so much, she put her marriage. She put fighting for her marriage, and you got to think about it. At the end of the day, when all said is done, you need somebody to come home to. Especially, the big reason why, why Tom Brady's wife divorced him, because she didn't want to end up being taking care of a vegetable. Take care of a man who's on life support, and I can understand that. But if you love somebody, you be there beside them thick and thin. But she made a decision that fight was more important than her marriage. And and it's just it's sad. She was the one who thought like this, hey, I wanna, like, I know some people talking about, like, I know especially W. Mac, he says that women shouldn't be like that, but women are going to be women. That's just how it is. Women are going to want to have those natural sides, even fighters. Like, here's a good example right here. Like someone like one of her last opponents before she lost to Mara, someone like Yana Kunitskaya or Yana Santos, or everything she goes by. She has a son, she has a daughter. She has a son from a previous relationship, and she has a daughter with her husband, Santos, who's also a fighter, if you know him. I forgot his name. I think my girl Tay Brown, she's a big fan of his. And she is a mother and a wife. She or someone like one of her teammates from Jackson Wink, Michelle Waterhead. She has a daughter and a husband. She has a life. So you're gonna be that odd out. You're gonna be like, well, everybody else is talking about, hey, they're men, or talking about their kids. You could be that cougar. See, there's the difference. There's cougars and there's MILFs. I'm not a big fan of a fighter, but I know she's attractive. Michelle Watterson is a MILF. MILF is the terminology MILF. Mothers I love to French. I'm being clean here. Holly Holm is a cougar. Most cougars are women who either were married at one time, never have kids, or don't have kids. That's a cougar. Or they say single. Like good example, old girl from Sex and the City who plays Samantha. Forgot her name. She was a cougar. Her, particularly her. Well, Carrie did get married, but then I think didn't they kill Big off when they brought out the next movie? Carrie's more like the single girl. You go break it like this. The other chick, the redhead chick, she eventually had a child with her baby daddy. And the other chick, Charlotte, she married her husband, and they adopted a child. But I think later when they had the next movie, she got pregnant. That's Holly. Holly's Samantha. But like I said, guys like her because she's appealing. She's attractive. She has nice legs. But the thing is, she needs to really think about her future. Because you know what? You can't keep doing this forever. You can't keep doing this. You really got to think about, and this is one of the few losses in her career, and so like Mara, who's young and hungry, you really, this is really the future of the fight game. They always can go with young competitors, but honestly, we're talking about Renee, that Holly loves the fight, but the fight game does not love you back as much as you just fighting doesn't have love. You have love for the fight game. The fight game doesn't love you back. The fans love you, but eventually the fight game will get its 20 pounds of flesh from you. When the point is, like I said, she's going down the road, she's going to have some mental issues. She's gonna, even though you for years being a boxer, years being a MMA fighter, she's gonna, come on, who's gonna, you think your brother's gonna take care of you and he has a family, or your parents? I know my man WA talk about how he's fighting. People need people. There's some people kind of solitary. I'm a solitary person. I don't mind having company now and then. Sometimes there's times like, okay, like yesterday, my cousin and a friend want me driving. I usually drive him around, but yesterday I didn't feel like driving because my nephew, his car broke down, got in a crash, got hit. He needed a ride to work until everything gets settled. So he wakes up 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I don't want to leave the house, but I do need to leave because my car, it's a funny kind of car. If you let it sit too long, it drains the battery. I have to drive. I got to drive later after my interview. Just drive around a bit so I can keep the battery juice. So I have to jump it every time I get in the car. But that's one thing. People need people. They need each other. And I know she has a family. She has her, her brother, her father. But your brother has his own life. Probably, has a wife and probably has some kids. Your dad has your mom. Your parents have each other. You're gonna need somebody eventually. Some people, but in some cases, it doesn't always work out. Like I said again, what happened with Tom Brady and his wife? She felt like she wanted to sit around taking care of some, punch drunk football player. That's why she moved and divorced. She says, hey, we want you to spend time with family. Your job is seasonal. Hey. But now Tom Brady sits down, up, butt down. But now he's single. He got any woman he wants. That's how it is sometimes. But hey, it's just, you had a good woman who stuck by you, who even, loved your child with somebody else as much as she loved her own children. Treat the child just like it was one of her own, along with her brothers. That's good. That's good. We found a woman who treats the child that's not hers biology as much as it is hers. That's good. You have that. That child can come spend time with his brothers and sisters just as much as any, and you still in good terms with their baby mama. But now she's doing her own thing. So shout out to her. So, folks, I'm not gonna be here too much longer because in another about a couple of hours, I got an interview coming up. The lovely Miss Oksana Piari. She is IFB Physique Pro. She's from Russia. I had my first interview to Russia. I covered some ladies from a lady from Czech Republic, a lady from, you know, I mean, a Russian. You know, she's from the red, from the iron, from the red country. you know, but I want to come on here because, like I said, it's been a while since I talked about anything about combat sports. And like I said, I'm gonna use my new moniker, the Emperor of Female Combat Sports Talk. That's my new moniker. It's no longer, WWE talk, or no longer female boxing talk. I'm gonna say female combat sports talk. Because no one talks about women combat sports as much, other than my man, the coach, WWE Addict, Colin Breaker 99, shout out to Colin Breaker, my man BJ at No Filter. Tay Tay talks about, a good bit, but she's more broad sense of MMA, not just on women's MMA, but the whole spectrum MMA of, most definitely, the men of the brand. And also, shout out to my man, XA. I should have sent him a text if he want to come out here, but I know he's busy. Maybe next time down the road, me and him might do a little live. It's been a while. We may just talk about stuff. I know he's a big Nunes fan. I know he's happy she got a title back. And he's happy that she beat Irina Dana. Who cares about forget the lion ass queen. But anyway, folks, it was a kind of busy week for women combat sports. You had 4 fights in the MMA, and you had a big boxing match with headline. You was able to headline. Women need much opportunity. Women want to fight, let them fight. One thing, like in boxing, you need to change the rules. You need to give Alicia Vez extra minute. I bet you $1 if some of these fighters had an extra minute. There's a difference between a decision and a knockout or a stoppage. An extra minute does make a difference. You don't think it does? I see some fights where opponents should have been out on their feet, and the bell rung and it saved them. But it's just how things are. I think still it's boxing is an old boy school, and they still have the mentality that women should be barefoot and pregnant. You still have boxing guys who go back to the day. Guys like Bob, what's the face? Yeah, I know his name. I forget. Bob Arum, who's like 100. I think he is 100 years old now. He's been around boxing starting, might as well say. Before, when you've been around boxing, get integrated, you might as well say. But women's boxing is, yes, there's a big difference. I don't think will not get as much attention. Not get so much spread demand, but at least you get women. They really go out and fight. Some of these guys, like I remember how Ann Wolf said, like some guys spend more time making love and hugging than actually fighting. And people like Frida Gibbs, a legend, a great legend. I love her back on again. She ever has the time, talk to her, see how things go. She had a statue dedicated to her and stuff going on. I think she got put into the boxing Hall of Fame too. Congratulations to Frida. Big fan of her. But what's the future? As if 135 can get some more new fresh blood in here and push out some of the older fighters, that help it out. If they also can grow the 145 division, recruit, like good example, recruit Olga Rubin. I know she's fighting at Bantam over at Invicta, and she's probably going to get a shot at the title against Tina Belando. But or they might give a rematch to I feel like either get a rematch, Tina versus Tanisha Tennant, or just go ahead and go up against Olga Rubin, Big Bad. And it's all up to them. I mean, Olga Rubin probably will be good for the organization. She has a different look to her. She's especially even though she's Israeli, she looks typically white female. And I saw her fight against Claire Guthrie. She got her a buggy choke. I was certain, I was one of the people who thought Claire Guthrie was going to win this fight. But I was just really shocked. You know, and I remember, I was really shocked. I didn't say, well, Claire was younger by I think about 5 or 6 years. I think Claire's in her mid-20s, Olga in her mid-30s. You know, if I was UFC, I would pick. She fought for the title back in Bellator against Julia Budd. If I was UFC, you want to expand the 145 division, offer a shot to Olga Rubin. They probably would do this. They'll probably feel like they might have to wait and see how she does against Toledo Bernardo. I think she's trying to. She couldn't do anything. Yeah, she's trying to fight out of it, but it's hard. It's just they were practicing on that bogey choke. It says she's a lot bigger than 135 because she did fight in 145 in Bellator for a long time. He fought for the title. Or she go fight 135 in UFC. I think they're waiting. It's a wait and see for the UFC. So I don't know if Victor's gonna have anything coming up. Coach might have heard something. I'm a big, I'm a big fan of Victor. I talk about it now and then. So I talked about too much. But what's the future for women in combat sports? Well, as long as you put up good fights, entertaining fights, opportunities, if promoters step up and really, give these women the opportunity to prove themselves in an organization, that's a good thing. It'll be a good thing. Hey, give these ladies a shot. Don't be afraid. Don't use your Minnesota's idea of what femininity should be, or women should be. I'm a fan of bodybuilding. Well, like I said, I'm just talking off my butt right now. I'm probably going to jump deep out in a bit. Shout out to a lady who I've come friend with, Miss Sarah Alpar, or she's also goes by Mrs. Sarah Sims. Sarah's got a fight coming up end of this week. It's a Saturday. She was supposed to be boxing, but something happened with that. Excuse me. Her opponent had to drop out due to some kind of medical issue, and then that fight was canceled. So now she has a shot to do some Muay Thai. She has not fought for almost, I think, nearly 3 years. The last time she got cut from the UFC after her last fight against Jessica Rose Clark, Jess. She has a job now. She works in schools. I'm gonna do a video later this week, and I'm gonna, because like I said, I ain't done one in a while, for women's combat sports. I've been kind of, busy, like I said, focusing on the bodybuilding stuff. We got the Chicago Pro coming up. We got Tampa next month. The numbers for women's bodybuilding shows are getting very low and thin. I reach out to more ladies and maybe get them on. Like I said, I got the early review today and tomorrow. Most Talk Mondays. If you know my Most Talk Mondays, hey, if you want to come on as a guest, because my partner Jen, he's walked away. He's moved from the Must Talk Mondays to do his own thing. Shout out to Jen. Appreciate you, brother. Good luck to you, whatever you do. And if like I say, he's thinking about doing a podcast. So hey, if you ever need me, come on and just chop it up, and we can have a good conversation like we used to do back in the day. You're welcome. I don't know if he were interested in maybe do like we have our usual muscle talk, or not. That's up to him. But folks, like I said, it's Sunday. Whatever you're doing, get up this morning, you're about to head out the door, enjoy the rest of the day. You're just getting back from church, or you're getting ready to go to church. I appreciate y'all for coming here, sitting here, listening to me talk off my butt. You know, like I said, I'm a fan of these ladies in combat sports, and well, I wish all the best for them. I hope they have a great future, maybe more opportunities for them. It's tough. It's tough being one of the sports that's not statistically feminine for women to do. So anyway, folks, I'm gonna head out. Got some things to do. I got to figure out for lunch. Wait a minute. This is from Arm Love. She destroyed you. Who? Who are you talking about? Who she destroyed you? I don't know. You might be some, some guys just don't got nothing else to do. So I don't know. I'm just gonna say, time out. So it's my channel. I can do what I want. But folks, it's just like I said. It's Sunday blues. Try to find something to do. I might, run out for a minute. Maybe get some lunch. It's already about 12. I don't know what I want to eat. Gotta get back here before my interview. So I'm gonna have my interview starts at 1. I'm gonna drive up for a bit, maybe try to find something to chew on, and then keep my mind busy. So anyway, folks, I appreciate you coming through. Thank you, man. Kit Kats, my man Ronnie Renee, Ronnie Renee. He goes by Ronnie Renee. Also, appreciate y'all for listening, comment, subscribing to my channel. Folks, like I said, I'm gonna try to do is as often as I can some stuff on combat sports. I'm gonna try to keep on that because I'm a big fan of combat sports. I had done an interview. I think my last interview was with Britain Hart. And that's been a while. Britain Hart's my last interview with Woman in Combat Sports. I was trying to reach out to one lady. Her name is Tony Tallman. I think Tony just did a fight for BKFC. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up. And she posted that for Christina Pittman. I think they probably have that fight either tomorrow, today. I think Tony Tallman. Let's see. Let's see. BKFC. Let's see. Let me check. The fight supposed to be coming on. Let's see. Let me see. Friday night. I think it was on the other night. I don't know if try to find. Let me see. I think about Pope Crystal Pittman. Let me see. Pittman. Yeah. Let me see. Crystal Pittman. She posted a fight. Chris versus Kim Ray. Wait. I thought she was supposed to fall on Talman. So what happened to Talman? This is Saturday, October 15th. But her fight, she's supposed to have her fight against Talman was on the 14th. And yeah, it was I don't know how that fight gone. It was on the 14th. So I'll try to reach out. I hope to reach out to Talman. Maybe she'll tell me some news. You know, maybe I think she probably lost the fight. You know, Crystal Pittman, I think I reached out to her a couple of times for an interview, but she never responded. You know, yeah, yeah, she kind of like, she reminds me of Jamie Driver a bit, but with bigger tits. That's a scoop of it. You know, Jamie she used to have red hair, but now she doesn't have it anymore. And Jamie just had her bare knuckle fight against Cotton, Josette Cotton a while back. She lost that fight. I might send her a package because I wore one. So, okay. Like I said, I don't know, but folks, I appreciate y'all for coming through, listen to me talk my butt a little bit. I think I'm gonna run out and find something to chew on. I don't feel like making a sandwich. I got stuff I gotta do later this afternoon. Got some cleaning up to do. A lot of stuff to do. It's about maintaining the house. Thought I was gonna be moving, but come to find out that somebody took the apartments that were open. One of my neighbors across the street, she moved, and her brother was a little bit down ways from her. He passed away, and I'm not moving. But I guess my family's because I lived there for so long, me and my mom, and I'm grandfathered in. They're not gonna move me. So and that's a good thing. I got a lot of stuff that my mom collected over the years, and stuff like kids being in and out of the house. Everybody, is leaving stuff, and stuff because my mom was a pat rat, and so am I. But like I said, I appreciate y'all for listening to me. I'm gonna try to do some more combat sports stuff every now and then. Try keeping my combat sports. I just posted posted videos from combat sports videos. I posted a wrestling video. Like these wrestlers. My good friend Nicole Mattia, she's doing pretty good. Missy Marks, she's doing all right. It's been a long time since I talked to the road. I like to get some more from your wrestlers on here. So anyway, folks, I'm gonna head out. Probably see some of the chew on, and I do appreciate your time, and thank you. Thank again, Kit Kats, also running Renee. Appreciate you coming through. Anybody who listens to this little live stream, thank you for listening, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for your support. And this man always Joseph, aka the Emperor of Female Combat Sports Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out. Have a good rest of your afternoon.